Hi, I'm Colleen McCann. Welcome to Energy Healing with Colleen. Today we're going to talk about using a pendulum. I find the pendulum to be extremely handy and useful for checking myself, checking people remotely, checking animals, checking anything. The better you get at it, the more confidence you get in your answers and the more confidence you get in yourself and being bolder and bolder in what you can ask about. It literally opens up a whole new world, and I want to share that with you. I'm extremely energetically sensitive and have developed different ways of clearing myself from unwanted energies and entities sometimes. And it's been life-saving for me. And I've taught a few friends recently or clients, and some have told me like that it's really been life-changing for them too. First and foremost, find a store that carries them. As I call them, a woo-woo store. Find a store that carries pendulums, and I really highly recommend that you go to a store and test it out rather than just buy your first one online. There's a million different places you can buy pendulums from online, but I would suggest for your first one, you really want to be hands-on with it and really test it out before you purchase it. Once you find your pendulum, I suggest holding it in your dominant hand. For me, that's left-handed. I'm painfully left-handed. Uh, and there may be different schools of thought for this, but this is my technique. So, all right. So what you're going to do is find one that strikes your fancy, and you're going to hold it as steady as possible. First thing you're going to do is you're going to say yes, 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 yes. Basically, you're asking you're asking your pendulum to indicate what your yes is. Okay, let's see how steady I can hold my hand up in the air here. So, pendulum, give me a yes. Show me my yes. So, if you can see, my pendulum is swinging back and forth. For me, that's a yes. For many people I know, that is their no. So it doesn't matter. It only matters what is the answer for you. So once you've established your yes, then you can establish your no. So you can just say no, 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 no. Okay, for me, it's a counterclockwise circle. So another way to do it, you could ask a very obvious to yes question or no question. I often like to use something extreme like Hitler. So sometimes if I'm looking for my no, I will say, Hitler is my boyfriend, or I'm in love with Hitler, and it better be a no. So that's a good way to indicate a no for yourself. A definite yes for me would be, I am desperately in love with my amazing husband. Anybody that knows me knows that I am very open about how much I adore my husband. So those are ways to get your yes and no's. And once you've established those pretty securely, I suggest that you ask your pendulum, are you my pendulum? If you get a yes, you're good to go. If you get a no, I would highly suggest, no matter how cool the pendulum is or how responsive it is, I would highly suggest that you look for a different one and really wait and hold out for that right pendulum. Just like holding out for the right partner in life, you want to hold out for the right pendulum too. This occurred to me when I was at a store buying my first pendulum. My husband was reading a book nearby, and I was just bored, and I was standing near the pendulum, so I thought, oh, why not, when in Rome. So I picked a really neat looking one and started playing with it and got very clear yes and no's, and I was asking all kinds of questions, just having a good time. And then something all of a sudden made me ask, are you my pendulum? And in no uncertain terms, I got a no. So I then, after being surprised for a moment, I asked, is my pendulum here in this store? And I got a yes. And when I looked at the pendulum display again, I noticed the pendulum that I ended up getting that was mine, and I hadn't even seen it the first time around. So it really pays to ask the questions and get real clear. Don't go with just the first pretty face you find unless that happens to be yours. Wow, this is so similar to dating. It's so interesting. Anyway, so ask if it's yours, and if it is, you're good to go. And if not, keep on looking. And your pendulum might not even be in that store. And if that's the case, seriously, once again, hold out for the right one for you. I think of developing a relationship with a pendulum like developing any kind of relationship. Remember, everything is energy, so treat it real nice, just like you would treat a good friend. I always suggest also that you keep your pendulum in a nice little bag, something that's honoring of it. Recently, my mom gave me a bag that's, of course, not right next to me, but it's this beautiful little bag with this, it's like a little Asian style bag, and it has these beautiful little drawstrings, and I always feel extra special that I feel special fondness for my pendulum when I put it in there. It just seems like a really nice honoring place. Don't throw it at the bottom of your purse. I'm just My suggestion is find a pendulum, go through those steps, and once you do get your pendulum, you might want to name it. You might want to see if it's a boy or a girl. There's all kinds of questions you can ask, but just get really clear on what your yes and no is. And the more practice you have with it, the better you're going to get at it. And in future videos, we will be talking about what you can do with your pendulum and ways to help yourself feel better. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this first video, and I hope we have a lovely, energetic relationship in the future.